And this is the sign that greets football fans, the coaches, the players, and the media. It's the SEC slogan, "It just means more," printed on the sign outside of the Winfrey Hotel at the Galleria here in Hoover. Welcome into TV24's Primetime Sports. I'm Gerhard Mathangani, joined in by Chase Robinson. Alabama, when they come into town, it certainly means more, and the Crimson Tide were the headliners today.
They started it off, and there's always an extra special feeling in the Winfrey Hotel when they show up. After losing the national championship last season, well, the Tide has taken the offseason to refocus. With quarterback Jalen Hurt returning and key players like Calvin Ridley and Mika Fitzpatrick, they're coming back as leaders, and they're turning everyone's attention to fixing the small things.
We wasn't ourselves in those last games. We did a lot of different things. We dressed different, We just thought different, and we just thought we was better, and we thought we just had it. But so far, I know we know that what we messed up and how to fix those things, and Coach Saban is riding us to be more of a leader.
We're not letting the small things slide, and that's the reason why we lost last year, because we let little things slide, and they added up towards the end of the season in the championship game, and we lost because of the small details. So I feel like this year we kind of learned from that.
A phrase that is heard a lot when it comes to Alabama football is the process, which is how Nick Saban describes Alabama football. Senator Bradley Bozeman described to us today what the process means.
The process is just our stair step. It's one thing after another. Putting one foot in front of the other and going forward. It's doing the right things whenever you don't feel like doing it. It's going the extra mile. That's what the process is. It's continue to try to be great.
I mentioned Jalen Hurts will be returning at quarterback, but in the offseason there has been a lot of talk of Tua Tagovailoa, which will be a freshman this season. But Coach Saban wants everyone to know that this is not a quarterback competition.
You've reiterated Jalen Hurts is your starter, but people even want to keep saying that there's a quarterback controversy. Bozeman put it best a few minutes ago.
You're the only one saying that.
No. Bozeman put it best.
Create it right now.
No, Bozeman put it best, saying that they want drama.
That. All right, so I don't know who's saying that.
Yeah,
all right, so it's like me saying somebody said it's going to have a hurricane outside today. Is that right or wrong? I just said it. So that means I created something that makes everybody panic and creates news and go out there and get people excited and interested and afraid.
Hey, Coach,
I was waiting for that one, man. That was like a hanging curveball.
Entering his second season on the job, Missouri head coach Barry Odom very optimistic about his squad. 10 starters are back on offense, including just about all the playmakers from a year ago. Quarterback Drew Lock led the SEC and finished 10th in the country with more than 3,300 yards and 23 touchdowns. Also back, wide receiver Jamal Moore, running back Damian Crockett, each posted over 1,000 yards last season.
I'm super confident, and it's really not even looking at the other teams, but it's just what I think we're going to bring to the table. Mention the 10 guys coming back, mention all the yards we put up, just the consistency that we're having. First time that I've been here with the same offense, same coaching staff.
They've got a chance to be a special offense. We got all those moving parts back, and for us, as a coaching staff, we got to make sure that those guys play better than they did last year. And if not, that experience just goes by the wayside and it's a waste. So, tremendous challenge for us to be able to do that. We've got a lot of playmakers that are working really hard to try to get those numbers even more in our favor.
Odom says he's looking for major improvement on defense. This offseason, he turned to a local product for help. Gadsden native Brick Haley has been a welcomed addition to the Tiger staff.
You get to know people that worked with him, and everybody had such great things to say about him. The thing I've been most impressed with Brick is the day he got on campus, the job that he's done reaching out and developing relationships, not just with his defensive linemen, but also with every position group on the team. He spends time around the players, really cares about them, wants them to be successful in every area of his life.
He's someone you want to go to work for every day. Brings a smile to the room. Is very optimistic, very productive, very businesslike and professional. And this is a business, and professionalism is very important. He allows us to progress each and every day. He's honest with us, and the D-line, along with the linebackers and the rest of the defense, have learned to trust him, and that's extremely important.
The Kentucky Wildcat football program under Coach Mark Stoops is on the rise. The Wildcats finished 7-6 last season, including getting a big win over their rival Louisville. With 19 starters returning, 8 on offense, 9 on defense, and 2 specialty players, and a ton of support from the fans and the university as a whole, it's an exciting time to be a Kentucky Wildcat.
We've got a great group of guys, a tremendous talent on our team, just guys that are really wanting to learn a whole lot more when it comes to those freshman guys, and guys that are picking it up more with the leadership roles on our offensively, and then defensively as well. We're doing a tremendous job. I know Coach House is doing a great job over there, and just our chemistry building together as a team. I think we can play with the best of them and beat the best of them.
You know, a lot of people have stepped up. You know, our administration has stepped up. Our stadium was done a few years ago. This is the first summer that we're completely in our new building, and you know, we're seeing a lot of positive results from that. Our players deserve it. They work extremely hard. We're going to recruit the very best players in the country. They're going to come in and they work extremely hard. They should have the best facilities, and we went out and raised the money and did that.
Final team of the day, Texas A&M. Aggies finished 8-5 for a 3rd straight season, and that's been the source of frustration in College Station. Now, the byproduct of those results, the hot seat talk. Head coach Kevin Sumlin and the players, though, side-skirting that, saying they don't think about it. They just want to focus on the work ahead.
As players, we just, you know, control what we can control. Control what we control in the locker room, in the workouts, and just focus on us. You know, Coach Sumlin's not the one who's suiting up and going out there and playing on Saturdays. And, you know, it's our responsibility to go out there and win. You know, he puts us in the best position to go out there and win, and it's our job to go out there and execute.
It's never been about me. You know, I've done this close to 30 years. I knew what I was getting into a long time ago. So, you know, it's part of the job. And you know, I really don't get caught up in when people say you're great or people say a lot of different things. You know, what I do get caught up in is the pressure I put on myself to try to win as many games as we can.
That wraps up day 3 here in Hoover for SEC Media Days. Chase, the 4th and final day is coming up tomorrow.
That's right. Gus Malzahn and the Auburn Tigers will be in Hoover, as well as the Ole Miss Rebels and the South Carolina Gamecocks.
And we will be right here to wrap it up all for you on TV 24's Primetime Sports.